terms AEO and GEO have been popping up lately, so you might be wondering, is this something you actually need to care about, or is it just another round of made-up SEO jargon? So in this video, I'm going to quickly explain in plain English what AEO and GEO actually mean, why these terms are suddenly showing up everywhere, whether they matter for normal businesses like yours and mine, and what this means for traditional SEO going forward. If your search results feel a little softer lately or less predictable than they used to be, there may be a reason the terms AEO and GEO are suddenly showing up. This is not something a few marketing consultants conjured up on LinkedIn over the weekend. Google is now openly talking about AI overviews and AI mode inside search, and they're saying that people are asking more complex questions and using search differently than they used to. At the same time, major SEO publications are now covering AEO and GEO as part of this broader shift toward AI-driven answers and summaries. So what do these terms actually mean? AEO stands for Answer Engine Optimization, and GEO stands for Generative Engine Optimization. In plain English, both of these are about helping your business show up in search that is becoming more AI-assisted and more answer-driven. AEO is more about direct answers. So if someone asks a direct question and your content clearly answers it, that leans more towards AEO. GEO is a little broader. It's more about your content getting pulled into AI-generated responses and summaries. But don't worry about getting hung up on acronyms. The important point is that search engine visibility has changed and AI is becoming a bigger part of how answers get delivered in the search results. So does this actually matter for normal businesses like yours and mine? Actually, yes, it does. Because if more people are getting direct answers from AI summaries right inside the search results instead of scrolling through the usual list of links, then yes, this matters if you want to get found. And this AEO and GEO stuff is not just for the big boys and girls running $100 million a year companies. This is very relevant to service professionals and small to medium-sized businesses too. So if SEO feels a little different than it used to, and you're not getting the same results from your SEO efforts, this is probably a big reason why. Not because SEO suddenly stopped working, but because those AI summaries at the top of the page are changing people's search behavior. In many cases, they don't scroll past those AI summaries, or at least not like they used to. So now the big question, are AEO and GEO something different from traditional SEO? Well, partly yes and partly no. Yes, the search engine experience really has changed. It's become more AI-assisted, more answer-driven, and less dependent on someone clicking through that old list of blue links on page 1. Google is now treating AI overviews and AI mode as part of regular search. But no, that does not mean traditional SEO suddenly stopped mattering. Google is still pretty clear that the same core SEO best practices still apply. You still need useful content. You still need clear, relevant content. What's changed is how that content gets presented to the user, especially now that AI answers and summaries are taking over more of the top part of the search results page. So what should a normal business actually do with this? Well, the mindset shift is this. You're not trying to rank a page anymore. You're trying to become part of the answer. So here's a simple way to think about this. Step 1, answer real questions. Don't just try to rank for keywords. Traditional SEO often starts with a keyword phrase, and that still matters. But now you need to think about the questions behind the search phrase. What is this person actually trying to find out? Do they want to know how much something costs, how long it takes, how it works, who it's for, what happens next? What's the difference between this option and that option? For example, let's say you are a family law attorney in the Detroit area. The old way of SEO thinking might be, I want to rank for divorce lawyer in Detroit. And that still matters. But the AEO and GEO way of thinking is, what is the person behind that search actually wanting to know? Maybe what they're really asking is, how much does a divorce lawyer in Detroit cost? Do I need a lawyer if my divorce is uncontested? How long does a divorce usually take in Michigan? What if there are children involved? That's the shift. You're not just pandering to the search engines around a particular keyword phrase. You're trying to answer the actual questions behind the search in a way AI can understand and use. Step 2, get to the point. You don't need a big windup. Just get to the point. If an AI bot lands on your page, it should immediately understand the main point of that page. So you want to make the important information easy to grab. Don't make AI guess. Serve it up on a platter. That means less fluff, less rambling, more direct language, clear headlines, clear copy. And instead of hiding the answer halfway down the page, put the most important answers closer to the top where AI can find them quickly. That's really what AEO and GEO are all about. The easier it is for AI to extract the information from your page, the better chance your content has of being used in those AI summaries at the top of the search results. Step 3, make it very clear what you do and who you help. A lot of websites are too vague. They say a lot of words, but you still walk away scratching your head. Like, what do they actually do? Who do they help? What problem do they solve? What makes them different? That stuff needs to be crystal clear. Because if a real human being has a hard time figuring that stuff out, AI is probably going to have a hard time figuring it out too. So if you haven't looked at your own website in a while, go back and read it like you're a total stranger. Better yet, have a friend or family member read it and ask them to be objective. If something is confusing to them, it's probably going to be confusing to your visitors and confusing to AI too. And step number 4, measure search visibility differently than you used to. The old SEO question was, can I get this page to rank on page 1? And yes, that question still matters. But now you also have to ask, is my content showing up in the AI summary and becoming part of the answer at the top of the page? Because those AI summaries are now part of how you evaluate your search visibility. So yes, rankings still matter, but rankings alone are no longer the whole story. AEO and GEO are not some big scary replacement for SEO. They're really just how SEO has evolved now that AI has become part of the search results. The goal is still the same. Create useful content, get found in the search results, help the right people find the right answer. But what's changed is that now you have to give your content the best chance of being picked up by those AI summaries at the top of the page, because that's where a lot of people are getting their answers first. So no, you don't need to throw out everything you know about SEO, and you do not need to overcomplicate this. You just need to tighten up your content, structure it more clearly, and answer real questions in a way that both regular people and AI can understand. That's really what it boils down to. Not replacing SEO, just adapting it to how search works now that AI is part of the equation.